David Lammy has been the topic this week because he just can't keep his mouth shut. He refused to apologize for his comments about Trump, and now he is telling him what is best for the USA and trying to tell him what to do as he makes a fool of himself yet again. In today's video, we will discuss the details, whilst also going over all of the latest news from up and down the country. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Just a quick one to say we have new Stuck Farmer t-shirts available on our store. Go grab them now. They are available at britishstand.com or check the link in the description. So, David Lammy decided to warn Trump about international relations. You'd think a guy like him, who's barely scraped the surface on trade deals, might think twice before telling Trump how to do his job. But here we are, folks. Lammy is apparently worried that Trump's tariff strategy could hurt America's allies. It comes as Lammy has described his previous remarks about Trump being deluded, dishonest, xenophobic, narcissistic, and a neo-Nazi sympathizing sociopath as old news. Trump believes America's getting the short end of the stick in some of these trade agreements. So, what does he do? He sticks to his word. He's all about America first, right? Tariffs on goods he thinks are undervalued. That's just part of his plan. Now, I'm not saying we in the UK are going to love it if Trump puts tariffs on our goods. But honestly, how many politicians out there actually do what they promise? It's rare. Trump's staying consistent with his goals. So why is Lammy jumping in here, acting like he's the expert? Last time I checked, Trump's still president, and let's be real, Lammy's influence on the US isn't exactly earth-shattering. Lammy even went on about how tariffs aren't good for the US in the medium or long term. Really? Since when did he become an authority on the future of American trade? Maybe if Lammy and his pals hadn't spent years mocking Trump and his team, the UK would be in a better spot. But here we are. He just can't help himself. And here's the kicker. Starmer's tied himself to Lammy for 5 whole years. So when it inevitably comes time to drop him, it's going to look like a complete mess. If Lammy wants to hold on to his job, he might want to consider taking a long break from making noise. Just some friendly advice. A little silence can go a long way. So, what do you think? Should Lammy back off a bit, or does he really think he can talk trade to Trump? Drop your thoughts below. In some other news, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer is set to use all of his soft power to enlist King Charles's help with UK-US relations, following Donald Trump's victory. The president-elect became the 47th US leader following his victory against Kamala Harris, and will re-enter the White House in January. In behind-the-scenes footage of Trump during his election campaign, the incoming president reflected on his relationship with the royal family, sharing photos of his last state visit. Trump said of his bond with the royals, "This was with Queen Elizabeth. She was always fantastic, by the way. These images, I mean, who has images like this? It's a piece of history at the highest level. Here's Charles. So beautiful. Hopefully he's going to be well because he's a really good person. Camilla is fantastic. You get to know them so well." Speaking in an interview, political editor of HuffPost UK, Kevin Schofield, claimed that the UK's relationship with the US won't be plain sailing, due to previous remarks made by Starmer and his cabinet, but the King may be able to help ease tensions. Schofield explained, "There is a familial link there for Donald Trump with Great Britain. However, it is going to be quite rocky. We've heard a lot of warm words so far from Keir Starmer, but it's not so long ago that the Republican Party and the Trump campaign were accusing Labour of election interference, and we know what David Lammy and other members of the cabinet said about Donald Trump when he was president the last time. These things can't be unsaid, so it's not going to be plain sailing." Noting the King's role in helping the UK fix their relationship with the Trump administration, GB News host Ann Diamond claimed that Starmer is thinking ahead with a clever move. Ann told in an interview, "Keir Starmer is clearly thinking ahead, ignoring Nigel Farage's offer to help ameliorate things and going for instead the royal family. It's quite a clever move." Agreeing with Ann, Schofield added, "Donald Trump admires the royal family. He likes being flattered, and there's no greater flattery really than a state visit. He loves all the pomp and ceremony, and he'd really get a kick out of meeting King Charles again, I'm sure. And yet, Labour and the government will be using all the soft power, all the leverage at its disposal, to try and make sure that relations with the White House are as good as possible. When asked by host Stephen Dixon whether Donald Trump will have the same affection for King Charles as he did for Queen Elizabeth, Schofield claimed that because the Republican loves powerful men, he will hold King Charles in high regard. Schofield said he does hold Charles in very high regard. He does like powerful men, and obviously the king is the head of state, so he has a powerful mind. He's not a politician. He doesn't set the laws of this country. However, Donald Trump does admire powerful men. There's no doubt at all that he would get a kick out of meeting him. If there's one way to ensure that you get Donald Trump on side, it is to appeal to his ego. And I think laying on a state visit, all the pomp and ceremony that goes with it, there's no doubt at all that that would be a good thing as far as Britain is concerned. Lastly, Princess Kate broke royal protocol when she issued a statement written in her own words, according to a royal biographer. The Princess of Wales announced she had completed her chemotherapy treatment in September when she released an emotional video message on her and Prince William's official social media accounts. The personal message came 6 months after the mother of two announced her diagnosis in March. Royal biographer Robert Hardman revealed in a new chapter of his book on King Charles' New King, New Court that Princess Kate broke royal protocol and recorded the message entirely in her own words. Robert said, "It was attributed not to HRH the Princess of Wales, but to Catherine, the Princess of Wales. A tiny point to most people, but a noteworthy one, in an institution bound to a correct way of doing things." Referring to the message's filming process, Robert revealed, "It had certainly not been captured on a family mobile phone." He added, "The princess had been filmed by a cameraman from BBC Studios Events Productions, the same team which filmed the coronation and the late Queen's funeral. The words, however, were entirely the princess's own." Princess Kate has not yet fully returned to royal duties. However, she has been confirmed to be stepping out this weekend for 2 remembrance events. Buckingham Palace has confirmed that the 42-year-old will join her family this weekend in London to commemorate Remembrance Sunday. The palace said in a statement, "Members of the royal family will attend the annual Royal British Legion Festival of Remembrance at the Royal Albert Hall." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British political content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.